Hi, my name is Colleen Grazioso, and I would like to introduce to you today an international student who has been living with us for the past 2 months. This is Boris Nde Fogan.
Hi, as you say, I'm Boris Nde Fogan. I'm an international student from Cameroon, and I've been here since August, and today I'm going to present you a dish from Cameroon called Jollof Rice. So before starting up, I will first say thank you to my lovely, incredible host mom here who made everything to come real. And I will start washing the meat.
Yeah.
Let's wash the meat.
So Boris and I make a very good pair because he is an excellent chef and I am an awful chef. So it's a very good thing that he ended up moving in with us. He is 16 years old. He is a junior, just like my daughter, who is also a junior at BBA. I can't recommend hosting an international student enough. You should definitely get in contact with BBA or the local program. He's part of a YES program, it's called, and he'll explain what that is once he comes back with the meat. But he's made this dish for us many, many times, and it's really delicious, and I hope you'll enjoy.
The YES stand for Youth Exchange and Study.
Youth Exchange and Study.
So the program brings students around the world from around 15 to 18
years old.
So it brings them from around the world to study American culture and the dish in America and how's the lifestyle in America. So before coming here, I have to attend 2 big tests, an essay test and a writing test. An essay test and an interview.
An essay, yes.
After that, had an interview with 10 interviewers in front of me. I was just like, wow, this test is serious. Yes. And I passed those tests and the interview. And when I passed that, I was so happy. So I was just like, really, am I going to travel for my first time to a different continent? So for me, it was just like exploring and exchange your culture with different people and learn also more about them by also creating ties with American.
Yes, and also, so you have learned about American culture, but we have also learned a lot about Cameroonian culture and African culture. He is wearing his traditional dress that you brought from Cameroon. Yes?
That's actually a traditional dress from the North Cameroon called Sare. It's for Muslim people in Cameroon. Like in Cameroon, we all love each other, so we're sharing our traditional attires. So that's called Sare. Muslims usually wear them during Ramadan or Fête de Mouton, as they say. And yes. I pretty like it.
The primary language explained in Cameroon is?
In Cameroon, we speak 2 national languages, but the primary one, the first one is French. So I speak French and English. I used to learn Italian at school. I learned it for 2 years. So, and I can speak a little bit of Italian now, but I think I still need to learn a little bit to like improve it.
And also, you speak a traditional African language as well.
Yeah, a little bit, Bamongo.
Bamongo.
And to say hi to that language, we say Olia.
Olia. In Bamongo, that's how you say hello.
Now I'm cutting the meat. You can, doesn't matter the size, you can cut it in different pieces, or you can have any shape you want. So I'm cutting the meat into different pieces.
This is a London broil that we bought. His favorite meal is steak.
Exactly.
And French fries.
With fried chicken.
And fried chicken, yes. We've eaten a lot of that.
So I'm just removing the grease around.
Yeah. Now explain, in your family, do you cook a lot?
I cook, but not a lot because I'm the 4th in my family. So there's 3 people in front of me. So they're the one usually cooking if the mother or the father is not cooking. Yeah. But if I cook, that's maybe when my elders, brothers or sisters are not at home, or there's like nobody who can cook or help us doing anything. So at that time I will have to cook. So that's why I cook when I cook. And I pretty much learn it by myself or by just looking at my mom cooking every day. That's how I learned how to cook.
And explain how many people live in your house in Cameroon.
We are 9 in my house. We have 6.
6 children.
I'm the 4th, so I have elders and youngers. And I have one cousin. We have one cousin living with us and 2 parents, the mother and the father.
Your mother and your father.
Yeah.
And we have FaceTimed on the phone. So I have met his family. And someday I hope to go to Cameroon to visit.
That'd be great.
That would be good.
So I'm cutting the meat into different pieces.
Yeah. So the first time Boris ever left Cameroon was
in June 6th.
For this program?
For this program, yes, program.
Yeah.
So I flew from the economical region of Cameroon called Douala.
Douala.
I flew from there with our coordinator and 8 others Cameroonian who are selected from this program.
Yeah.
So I flew with them from Douala to Brussels, and from Brussels to Washington, D.C. In Washington, D.C., I attend a GCO, GC orientation for young students, for orientation for 3 days. And from GC, I flew by myself all the way there to Albany. And in Albany, my host mom picked me up and bring me to Vermont.
Yep.
So that was a little bit of my itinerary.
Very exciting to fly by yourself.
Yeah.
For the first time ever.
Yeah. And something that I would say will be, I will urge host parents in the United States to host children around the world, because for me that's just not to host students, but to learn about their cultures and the lifestyle in the country. For me, I found it pretty cool to learn about that. You're not only increasing your knowledge, your primary knowledge, but you're increasing your other knowledge. That's how I call it. So you're learning about new stuff like that you never knew before. So I found that pretty cool to learn about the culture of someone else.
Yes. What has been your favorite part of being in Vermont?
My favorite part of being in Vermont.
Well, what's your favorite thing you've done in Vermont?
Favorite thing?
Favorite thing.
Actually, I would say it's when we had this group activity with my local coordinator called Kimberly Eckhart.
Kimberly Eckhart is the local coordinator.
It was in the fall. We went to a country fair. So we had like an activity there, and we had all ice cream. We like walk around, talk around, like introduce each other, learn about each other, because we were all new at that time. So that was kind of cool for me. I like it.
Going to the country fair?
Yeah.
That is cool.
And also how Kimberly was teaching us like stuff about Vermont, like how it works and how are people here, and a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I like it.
And
Okay,
then
so I'm just gonna wash it again, my meat.
okay.
After washing the meat, I will have a quarter of an onion that I'm gonna chop, and I will boil the meat with a quarter of an onion chop. I'm gonna wash the onion first. Then I will chop my onion. The shape doesn't matter, you can chop it the way you want.
It's pretty good.
Okay. Now I will take my pot. I put the meat inside, all the meat.
Do you want to do this one
I
closer
will
to
add
you?
my chopped onion inside the pot. And I will add a tablespoon of salt.
Do you want a tablespoon, or you're going to wing it?
Tablespoon of salt.
There you go.
Now I add a little bit of water in the meat before boiling it. Now I will boil my meat for like 15 minutes or 20. Just gonna stir it a little bit. Right.
And it's on, what do you think, medium heat?
Medium heat, yeah. All right. While my meat is boiling, I'm just gonna chop all the other ingredients like green onion, green pepper, the parsley, tomatoes, and the fruit pepper, spicy pepper.
A jalapeno.
So, a jalapeno.
Well, or
So,
a hot pepper.
I will take 3 green onion, one half of green pepper, 1 jalapeno, and all of the parsley. I will have 1 tomato and a half, and I will use a Maggi cube. That's a cube that we use in Cameroon mostly. So I will grind the cube in a little mortar to have it in powder form.
So the Maggi cube is the secret ingredient. You can buy these Maggi cubes online. I had never heard of them before. They're sort of like a chicken bouillon cube. It's Maggi, and they have in them salt, sugar, palm oil, cornstarch, onion powder, dehydrated chicken, garlic powder, turmeric, and spices. Those are that's the Cameroonian secret ingredient.
Exactly. So I'm gonna wash them first before chopping. Right. Now I'm going to chop all my ingredients. When you're cutting the tomato should be apart in another plate. But the green onion, the green pepper, the parsley, and the pepper can be in another plate. But the tomato should be in another plate with the onion. So I'm going to chop the tomato. As again, it doesn't matter. You can chop it as you want, but not too big.
When I asked Boris, how many takes do you think it will take for us to record the show? What did you say, Boris?
Only one. We have only one onion.
We only have one onion, so
Yeah.
it hopes it's only one take. So Boris met my daughter in math class this year. Is math your favorite subject?
Yeah.
He's also doing an independent study computer science class.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what are the other 2 classes you're taking now?
And I'm also doing drama. That's my first time doing it, and I like it. That was something that my school counselor proposed me to do. So just like, try it. It's going to be fun. And I was just like, do I? And I tried it, and I like it. So I love drama. And I'm also doing chemistry. That's also a subject that I like. I mean, I'm all about scientific subject. So I like scientific.
Yes. And you're also on the JV tennis team?
Yeah, I'm doing tennis this spring, and I'm also playing on the fusion team, soccer.
Soccer, yeah.
On the U16.
So he's very busy.
Right. I finished chopping, so I can put them in a little plate. Right. On the side, I can have the onion that I'm going to chop. Everything that you're going to chop for this meal, the shape doesn't matter. You can chop it as you want, but not too big.
Bite size.
Bite size.
Bite
Exactly.
size. Have you ever been on a cooking show or on TV before, Boris?
Never.
You've never been on TV?
Mm-mm.
Oh. One time I saw a taping of the Rachel Ray show in New York City. Have you ever heard of Rachel Ray?
No?
She's a very famous chef.
Wow.
But I wasn't talking. All I did was this. I was in the audience. Now you get to be the star.
Yeah. So
It's
I chop
pretty-
my onions.
Yes. It's pretty cool that Manchester, Vermont has its own cooking show.
Yeah. So others can learn different recipes.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, now in another plate, I'm going to have my green onion and the parsley with a green pepper chop. And now I'm chopping the parsley. After that, I'm going to chop the green onion, then the green pepper. And you should always remove the rough. Don't cook with the rough.
Do you think after being on TV, people will ask for your autograph in town?
Maybe. They're like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah. There we go.
Time to chop our green pepper. I think a quarter of a huge green pepper like that will be fine. So we don't need that much pepper, but this green pepper will be fine.
Do you think I should drain this now?
I think you should try it the other night.
See?
A few more minutes, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Still
while
a
the
little
meat is
hot.
still cooking and I'm still chopping ingredients. Alright, so I have all my green condiment ready with our tomato and onion. I'm just gonna leave them aside while the meat is still boiling. And I'm gonna chop the jalapeno pepper. One is usually fine, but you can have more if you want for people who like more spicy food. But I usually use one jalapeno and a little bit of hot pepper powder.
Boris likes to make spicy for him and not so spicy for me, right?
Yeah. All right. I cut everything. To be quick, I'm just gonna start to measure the rice. I will cook maybe 2 cups or 3, but looking at my ingredient, I might cook 2.5 cups of rice. So I have 2.5 cups of rice ready. So I'm just gonna leave it aside, and I'm gonna grind 2 Maggi cubes. Like again, it's a seasoning used in Cameroon.
The secret ingredient.
Secret ingredient. It's also used mostly by neighboring country of Cameroon in Africa.
So Cameroon is in what part of Africa?
Cameroon is located in Central Africa, and it is surrounded by 6 neighboring countries. As Nigeria, RDC, Congo, Chad, and Gabon.
And Cameroon has mountains in the north. It has coastline on the Atlantic Ocean.
Actually, there's not that much mountain in the north, but
Oh, no.
there's mountain in the center, and the center is the region. It's another region called in Cameroon center. We have a mountain there called Mount Cameroon.
Huh?
And you're also like in the armpit of Africa, so you're right near the Atlantic Ocean.
The armpit of Africa.
Yeah.
Is this done, you think?
I'm gonna check.
Okay. I turned it off. Soft?
That should be fine.
Okay.
All right.
Feel how soft it is. So it should be soft?
Yeah,
All right.
that's soft.
Okay. Soft enough?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now, what we are gonna start, cooking the dish, the actual dish. So I'm gonna have olive oil. I usually do it by hand, so I don't measure the amount of oil I should put. But usually it's almost a half of this cup of oil, I would say.
1/2 cup.
As long as the oil covers the bottom surface of the pot, I think we are good. Right, okay. I'm just gonna let it.
You like to use more sometimes when you're cooking, so keep it over there so that in case you need more.
Yeah. All right. Then I'm gonna have some water. All right, so you're just gonna wait.
Turn it on. Yeah.
Okay, I'm heating the oil right now. So when the oil is gonna be heated enough, I will add onions. After onion, I add tomato and the jalapeno. Then I all the green onion, green pepper, and parsley together. That's the hot pepper powder that I'm gonna use after adding the rice in the pot. I'm gonna use just a pinch of it because it's very hot and I like it.
Where did you get that hot pepper?
Did
you buy it online?
No, somebody gave it to me. Ah. So that's a hot powder pepper from Africa in general. It's not only from Cameroon, but it is basically manufactured in Nigeria.
Oh, and you brought it with you?
No.
No, you bought it here?
Yeah.
Somebody gave it to me here. Ah, yeah. Very cool. Yes.
I'm just going to check my oil if it is heated enough. I think so. So I'm going to add my chopped onions. Do you think I have an oven?
Yeah, you're okay.
The fan.
Oh, no, we don't need a fan.
Okay. You can stir the onion for like 5 minutes or more, but no more than 8 minutes. The onion needs to become a little bit brown or like a little bit crunchy before adding the tomato. So it shouldn't be too white. I think we can add the tomato and the jalapeno. Now I can add all my green herbs, which are parsley, green onion, and green pepper, and stir it.
So colorful. Now really smells
There's
good.
come the time of my secret ingredient, which is Maggi cube. I grind 2 cubes, so I usually add almost 2 cubes, so like 1.5.
You know he's a real chef. And you go like that.
And at the same time, I add a pinch of salt because I had it in the meat.
Yeah.
What I do now is I add my rice all at once, and then I mix it. That's the reason I had water as side of me, because I will pour water after so that the rice can be squishy or tender enough to be eaten. Now I will add water. The water should cover the rice. The water should be at the surface of the rice. And then I will taste the liquid to see if it is tasty. If it is not, I will add more salt. That's enough tasty. So
no more
that's
salt
enough.
needed.
So we're just gonna let it boil and then check it after each 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes until the rice gets tender. I think that's the perfect time to add hot pepper powder that is used by a lot of African countries. So I usually add a little bit because it's very hot.
Just a touch. Okay. Here.
And I add a little bit of water.
So do you want to describe, Boris, what the Maggie cube smells and tastes like a little bit?
It's kind of like a bouillon.
Bouillon.
Bouillon. Something made with like oil, garlic, and salt. So it's kind of tasty. Something that gives the taste to the food. It is mostly used in Africa to every food we cook.
Yes, you
Almost.
use everything.
Yeah.
You'll use it on chicken, meat,
Chicken, meat,
vegetables,
sauce,
sprinkles it on.
sauce, everything. Add just a little bit of water. And then the next time when I'm going to try the rice, if it is a little bit tender, I'm going to add the meat. Because the meat is already tender, that's why I didn't add it in the beginning, because it was going to be too tender. So if it is a little bit tender, when I'm going to try the rice, I'm going to add the meat with its water, its sauce.
Nice.
I have one question for you.
What is the question, Boris?
What is your perspective on hosting students from different countries?
My perspective on hosting students from different countries?
Yes.
It's been easier than I thought it would be. You make it easy. Boris is very open to all new experiences, and it's been very fun. It's fun to see Vermont through new eyes. This is the first time you'd ever seen snow this year, right?
Yeah.
Your first snowman.
Yeah. So I'm going to check the rice. It's a little bit, it's too hard, so I'm going to add water until it gets a little bit squishy. And also, while adding water, I should also taste the sauce to see if it is tasty, because when I'm adding water, the salt disappears.
So it dilutes it a little bit,
Yeah.
right? So sometimes you might need a little more
Yeah.
spice.
Yeah.
That makes sense. From a chemistry perspective.
When you were little, did you wish to learn another language or a different language?
Well, I did take French when I was in middle school and high school, but your English is much better than my French. Although, when at the very end, we'll have to say, what do you say every time we sit down to eat?
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
So you've been in Africa.
I have been in Africa.
Okay. So
that's
how
where
was
I
your
bought this bowl
experience?
when I was in Africa.
How was your experience in Africa? Could you tell me a little bit of what you did in Africa, and like what did you learn from the people there? Like,
My friend from college joined the Peace Corps after college, and so I went to visit her in the Gambia, which is in Western Africa, and I lived there with her for 2 weeks, and we cooked. I think cooking is a very good way to learn and share culture,
yeah.
because everybody loves food, and it's makes people happy to eat good food. So I went actually during Ramadan, which is what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And so that was very interesting to learn about their holidays, or the Muslim holiday of Ramadan. And what else did I do? We actually carried water. The town that she lived in did not have running water in her house. So we had to go to the well to get water and bring it to us, bring it to her house. And
Did you have like big bottles or?
no, we carried it in jars and jugs.
Jars.
Mhm,
In your
on our head.
Oh.
Yes. But this was 20 years ago. So they now may have lighter jars.
Oh my.
Do you have running water in your house?
Yeah, we do, but the water that we drink, we take it from a different place. So every once a week, we will go, me and my siblings, like we go to fetch water
You go to get the
Yeah.
water? And how many kids are in your school, or explain how you go to school? And
There's like 2,000 students at my school, and in each class there's almost 100 people. And my
one
school,
teacher and 100 students
one teacher and 100 students.
in the room.
Children don't move. I mean, they stay in one class, so each one has his own class. I mean, each student know where he's gonna go, and that's gonna be the definite class for the year. And teacher are the ones coming to give the lessons.
So you don't move like in BBA. You get to move buildings and you move classrooms.
Yeah.
In Cameroon, the teachers come to you and you stay in the classroom the whole time.
Yeah.
That looks good.
The rice is almost ready. Yeah, so teachers are the one moving, not children in my school. And we have almost 15 subjects, but for senior, I think they have more than 15 subjects at school. So that's something that you really need to be prepared to do. And as far as the evaluations are concerned in my country, school are like, you do 5 months of lesson, and then the next 5 weeks of lesson, and then the next week is a week of evaluation or test that you're going to do. So basically you have like 9 weeks of text throughout the whole week, and there's no retake. If you have like failing a test or something in my country, you're just accepting what you have and stay with it.
So what happens here at BBA if you
BBA,
don't do well at a test?
Something that I really like is like I can retake tests as many as I want. Like in my math class, I can retake tests as many as I want, and I really like it because it helps you to improve, not just to improve your grade, but to learn also from your mistake. So I found that very cool.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
As I told you, I love mathematics, and I want to be a mathematics teacher when I grow up. Yeah. Like maybe teach math at college.
And your mother, what does she do?
My mother is a teacher at primary school. So in Cameroon, mostly primary teachers teach every subject. So they have she has like one room, like one specific grade at primary that she needs to teach, and she teaches every subject to the kids.
But that's probably why you're so smart, because your mom taught you.
Probably. My father is also so smart.
And your father is smart too.
Okay, I'm gonna see if the rice is a little bit tender, so I can add the meat, and then I think we can add our meat.
Yeah.
The rice is a little bit tender, so we can add the meat with the sauce of the meat.
So, Boris, maybe you can explain, you are not Muslim, even though most people in Cameroon are Muslim, is that right?
Not most, but
not
we do
most,
have.
Many. So if you were Muslim, would you eat beef?
Yeah, if you're Muslim in Cameroon, you can eat beef. You can also eat chicken, but not pork. Like the Muslims don't eat pork. They eat chicken, but they eat chicken only if a Muslim was a person that like killed the chicken.
Oh, interesting.
Like, but for example, if I was the one cooking the chicken, a Christian, they won't eat the chicken, but they need a Muslim to like cook a chicken to eat the chicken. But beef, as far as I know, beef, they can eat beef anytime they want, even if it was cooked by someone else, anybody. That's pretty tasty.
But it looks very tasty.
Adding a little bit of water. And in Cameroon, we have the two main languages are English and French, but we also have more than 250 languages, traditional languages. But I can only speak a little bit of two because I can speak a little bit of my mother's tongue and my father's mother's tongue. But a little bit, like I can do a little bit of greeting, like hello.
How do you say hello in your mother's tongue?
In my mother's tongue, hello is Olanchi.
Olanchi.
Yeah. And in my father's mother's tongue, the hello is Olia.
Olia. That's fun.
But usually I speak French in my country and English at school when the English teachers come.
So at what age did you start learning English?
I started learning English when I was 11, not 12.
12. And how old are you now?
I'm 16. So I was kind of like confident. I wanted to learn English, so that's why I can speak in English now. So I want to learn English, so every day I will like do something or like an activity or like an English game or try to watch something in English. And even if I don't understand the meaning, I'll just like try to do my best and still watch it. I was very determined.
Very determined, yes.
So
one of my favorite things of hosting you is you ask a lot of questions and you're always learning, and you have a little book that you write down when he learns something new. So one day we were having something that was very bitter. I think it was.
Yeah, bitter.
Raw spinach. And he said, oh, that's bitter. And then the next day you said, oh, this is very bit. And I said, what do you mean it's very bit? And you said, well, it's not bitter, like colder or hotter. And I said, no, bitter is just bitter. It is not more bit. That was something for me to learn. English is very hard to learn because it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, there's like one word can mean like a bunch of stuff.
Exactly. It's very hard. But you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed that you always like to learn.
All right, I'll check my rice. It's looking pretty great.
Oh, wow, it smells incredible. It smells like fresh vegetables and a little bit spicy, garlicky, salty, oniony, peppery. And a little bit spicy.
Yes.
I can smell the spice,
Spiciness.
the hot pepper.
Yeah. This one, the powder?
Yes, I think so. What's been your favorite season in Vermont so far? You haven't lived through mud season yet, so, so maybe it'll be mud season. But
my favorite season was the fall, because when we are like those pretty leaves and pretty trees, when we are like all those tourists coming up to like see Vermont or explore the green part of Vermont. That was pretty beautiful, and yeah, that was my season. The season that I like, the fall.
And you learned,
even if it was a little bit chilly, but the outside was just pretty.
Yes. And did you? What did you think of the winter in Vermont?
The winter, I think.
What is the temperature like in Cameroon?
In Cameroon, the temperature is like 27 degrees Celsius. I mean, it's hot. It is like warm.
What is 27 degrees in Fahrenheit?
27 degrees Fahrenheit is like only 60 or 70.
60 or 70
Fahrenheit.
Is it on the equator?
Yeah.
Cameroon?
Yeah, just a little bit on the equator. On the equator, yeah.
So there's only one season all year.
No, there's two seasons in Cameroon: the raining season and the dry season.
Ah, is the rainy season, you think, like mud season here?
Mm-hmm. It's very muddy.
It's very muddy.
And I like also the winter because I learned something new, which is tubing. So I didn't know what tubing means before. Like, what is tubing? Just like, oh, you're sledding on the snow. Wow, I should try it. And when I tried, that was fun, and I like tubing, so I like the snow because of that tubing. Yeah.
That was really fun when we went tubing.
Yeah. So, checking again.
And your international program at BBA takes you on a lot of trips.
Yeah.
Too, like they did an escape room, and you're going to the beach in New Hampshire and you're going camping.
Yeah. I think 2 more minutes will be fine.
2 more minutes?
Yeah, 2 more
All
minutes.
right.
I'm just gonna decrease the fire. Yeah. And what is your favorite season?
My favorite season is winter.
Winter?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I love winter. Everything looks so pretty in the snow. That's why I live in Vermont.
Even if it is cold?
Even when it's cold. Because you can always add more blankets and get cozy in my big jacket. Mm-hmm. When I'm hot, there's only so many layers you can take off.
And what is your favorite food?
My favorite food, that's a hard one. I like all sorts of food. I like all different kinds of food. My problem is I like every food. There isn't any food that I don't like. But my favorite food, I don't know. That's a hard one.
You know mine, steak.
That is true. Yours is steak. And he's very good at cooking steak too. Yes.
All right, I think the rice is ready. Yep.
Well,
everything is ready. So now we are going to serve it in a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how we made in Africa. Some
family
people do.
Style.
Yeah.
And then we can. Can use a little garnish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah. And here it is. Potluck Kitchen's, GNAT-TV's own Potluck Kitchen special of Cameroonian Jollof Rice. This is pretty cool that we have our own cooking show, huh?
Yeah.
And to be on TV.
Exactly.
Did you think when you came to America that you would be hosting your own TV show?
That's something that I wasn't expecting.
You're pretty lucky.
Yeah. Right.
And you can come down and host your own TV show too.
Yeah.
An episode of Potluck Kitchen. You just contact GNAT-TV. It was pretty easy.
Right. Just gonna add a little bit of spinach on the top.
Okay. Parsley.
Parsley.
And there it is.
And your jollof rice is ready. Bon
Ta-da!
appetit.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.